got when I was 6.
At 11, I got me first wee walking stick.
At 8, Santa brought me a wonderful doll. She ate, cried, and wept. Man, that chick did it all.
Although quite concerned for his dad and his mom, Elvin's response was surprisingly calm. He sat very quiet and thought to himself,
I knew there was no future being an elf. I got out in time, Santa's over, no doubt. While me, on the other hand, I'm busting out.
Yes, here was one lad who was quite satisfied, smiling wider than wide, while the world wept inside. Then a little voice stung like a bee on his neck and wrote him a big fat reality check.
I don't know why everyone's making a fuss, raising a racket, disturbing the bus. I told you all once, Christmas doesn't mean jack. Who needs some fat guy with a sack on his back, breaking and entering, eating up snacks? Keep your partridge, your pear tree, your silent nights, and throw them away. Like I say, Christmas bites.
Evelina's harsh words rattled round Elvin's brain. They conjured up one thought.
Is this girl insane? Me and Santa butt heads, that's a natural fact. But in this whole world, there's no classier act. I've never known anyone quite so unselfish. Could it be I've been acting a little unelfish?
Your negative attitude truly is sad. Lassie, is this the way you were raised by your dad?
I'm the only elf left well enough to make gifts and uphold the tradition of past 25ths. I must travel the road that my forefathers paved. We must postpone the tour. Christmas has to be saved.
Postpone the tour? Oh no, we will not. You're all under contract, in case you forgot. This tour will not end until I turn a profit. You'll stay on this bus, and you will not get off it.
How Elvin hated that terse ultimatum, but he knew old Saul well enough not to debate him. Instead, the boy chose to do something quite rash. He opened the window, leaped out, and then dashed. Now for all those of you who are not in the know, an elf's hard to catch comes from training in snow. He ducked through a shop where they rented tuxedos and straight through the kitchen of Tito's Burritos. He zigged and he zagged and he scooted to boot, but somehow that tour bus stayed hot in pursuit. It kept up the pace, hanging lefts, snaking rights. It ran through each stop sign, it blew every light. It scoffed every law like the worst of unlawfuls, and skipped on the bill at Joe's Meatloaf and Waffles. It followed that elf, cause that's what Saul demanded. When his path dead-ended, they caught him red-handed.
Everybody wanna be a star. Everybody wanna ride doves on their car. Everybody want the bright lights and the fame. Everybody wanna get their hands off in this game. Not many wanna work hard on the dream. The road to fame is really longer than it seems. Sometimes you can't see the light for the dark. Still gotta press on if you wanna be a star. Can't waste time in this rap fame chase. Got to have hard just to finish the race. When the time comes up, I'm gonna get the fame. Then the whole world will be calling my name. They shouting out Elvin all in the streets. Now I'm on 106 with AJ and Free. Finally, I got the money. Finally, I got the fame. I'm a star now. My life's about to change. Everybody loves a star. I stuck with my dreams, now I come real far. If you work real hard, you can reach your dreams. Reaching the top ain't as hard as it seems. Everybody loves a star. I stuck with my dreams, now I come real far. If you work real hard, you can reach your dreams. Reaching the top ain't as hard as it seems.
Our shows will resume promptly this 26th, when Christmas is past and your attitude's fixed. Until then, you will stay under strict lock and key. I bet this will teach you about messing with me.
I'm to blame for all this. I know it's my bad, but I owe a debt to my mama and dad. Their whole way of life may be soon wiped away, and I screwed up my one chance at saving the day. Believe me, I'm sorry, you got punished too. But an elf had to do what an elf had to do.
It ain't no big thing. You know we got your back. I say we consider a plan of attack. We'll bust out of here, then we'll lend you a hand, so you can work your magic in Santa Claus land.
Hold on there, me bucks. I can help you with that. I've got a surprise for ye under me hat. We're not known as scholars or athletic jocks, but us lawn gnomes are excellent pickers of locks.
You can open this cell?
Aye, lad, you dang skippy. They won't know we're gone till we hit Mississippi.
That's all well and good, but remember the dogs. They'll chew us up smaller than fireplace logs.
Want to avoid getting chewed up like kibble? Those hounds won't mind us if there's something to nibble. I'll handle that task, for voila, take a glance at the meatloaf and waffles I stashed in my pants.
Another escape. Do you think I'm an oaf? What's that I smell? Is that waffles and loaf? You know, I just love me some waffles and loaf.
So he jumped in the cell. Who does that but an oaf? Elvin summoned a reindeer, and they went on their way with just 72 hours to save Christmas Day. Our 4 in a sleigh, and 1 stowaway. The plot thickened when high above El Cajon, Evelina decided to make herself known.
You got past my daddy, but not Evelina. When I'm on the case, there is nobody meaner. We are turning around, and I mean it, you heard? As of right now, this girl's taken over this bird.
They fought for the wheel. The sleigh climbed like a ladder and took a sharp nosedive at Elko, Nevada. The struggle was raucous, outrageous, and noisy until Evelina got pinned down in Boise.
Let's hit the shop. We got plenty to do.
Hey, how about me?
Simple, girlie. You gonna help too.
Me making toys? Why, you must be deranged.
But stepping inside, her whole attitude changed.
Oh, wow, this is cool. It's so cool, I believe if I came from this place, well, sir, I'd never leave.
Elvin was shamed when he thought of his blunder in leaving this land that was so full of wonder. But shame turned to pride, and it made him declare,
All right, man your station. Show Santa we care.
the assembly line really started to zip. Making Elvin's new drum, you know, boom shaka-bit. They made lots of those, and they went along fine with the items in Santa's traditional line. Then Evelina did something quite slick.
You know, everyone here doesn't have to be sick. My wonderful mother, rest her poor soul, was never afraid of a flu, cough, or cold. With a few common herbs, she could whip up a serum that could kill any bug and the bugs that got near them. It brings down a fever, controls the worst wheeze. I'm sure I can whip up a batch if you please.
It pleased, and she whipped up enough for the town. Everyone at the pole started wolfing it down. It tasted like paste. Worse, it smelled like manure. But that didn't matter. This stuff was a cure. The production was huge from each hardworking elf. And then who should walk in but the big man himself?
Well, ha ha ho! Santa likes what he sees. Now tell me, who was it that cured this disease?
Meet Evelina Katrina Susal. She mixed up the potion that fixed up you all.
Why, you sweet little thing, what a clever young lass. You know you should go to the head of the class. And Elvin, your top's on my honor roll too.
Shoot, ain't no big thing, but there's still lots to do. You just sit in your chair and let me do the rest. I'll make sure this Christmas is one of your best.
The last toy was made come Christmas Eve dawn. Santa just smiled and said,
Christmas is on. I'm coming as scheduled. There'll be no delay. It's business as usual. All hail Christmas Day!
Yay! Santa took off that night on his usual rounds, with his sleigh weighted down by a couple more pounds. They hit every house from Shiloh to Shanghai and ate themselves silly on cookies and pie. And who was the best Santa's helper of all? But of course, Evelina Katrina Susal.
This is the best time that I ever had. But if you don't mind, can we rescue my dad?
Which brings us right back without further delay to Santa Claus cruising just over L.A. They flew to the mansion, but when they got there, they found Mr. Saul a bit worse for the wear.
I'll get you all for the damage you did. Locking me up and abducting my kid. Taking my cell phone to run up my bill. Disrupting my tour.
Daddy, please, would you chill? These folks are my friends. They gave me a great gift. They taught me a heart's not so heavy to lift. I never believed such a thing could be true.
But it is, and now we've got something for you. Merry Christmas.
We hope you don't think this is dumb.
Well, lo and behold, it's a little toy drum. Mr. Saul looked it over, inspected it some, then he tapped on the top.
Pa-rum-pa-pum-pum.
You would think that a man, suave and sophisticated, would laugh at a toy that was so clearly dated, but not Mr. Saul, no. He smiled ear to ear, and I swear in his eye formed a wet little tear.
That sound fills me with joy. I had a drum like this when I was a boy. I got it for Christmas. I held it so dear. In fact, it inspired my music career.
So you see, even someone as mean as a mule, when presented with something extremely old school, can't help but succumb to the spirit of Yule. I find this last fact unequivocally cool. Oh, Elvin? He went back to living quite large, this time at the North Pole as head elf in charge.
Elvin, my boy, you done everyone proud. I don't even care if your toys are too loud. You come a long way as your new status proved. Now do me a favor and show me some moves.
You got it, big man. Yo, let's hit it, y'all.
It's the night before Christmas, so get in the flow. Tell every boy, every girl, tell everybody you know. It's the fly time, the best time, your favorite time of the year, when families get together to share Christmas cheer.
While you're dreaming in the night of all things that are good, the red man is in his sleigh flying over your hood. Presents from aunties, uncles, grandmamas, and pops, sitting under the tree with your name stuck to the top. But the best gift of all is the one that you give. No other reason for the season, it's the way we should live. I said the best gift of all is the one that you give. No other reason, it's the way we should live. Yeah.
It's the night before Christmas, so get in the flow. Tell every boy, every girl, tell everybody you know. It's the fly time, the best time, your favorite time of the year, when families get together to share Christmas cheer.
Somebody say Christmas time.
Christmas time.
I say Christmas time.
Christmas time.
I say Christmas time.
Christmas time.
Say Christmas time.
Christmas time.
I say Christmas time is the best time, 'cause the best time is Christmas time.
Christmas time is the best time, 'cause the best time is Christmas time. It's the night before.
Now isn't that just an incredible sight? It looks as if everything turned out all right. So Merry Christmas, y'all, and to all, a good night.